Justin Hunte is here, it's all happening. Justin Hunte is here, it's all happening.
Mike, check, analysts. It's all happening. First off, I want to thank everybody. You guys keep coming through, man, supporting this channel each week. Big shout out to everyone who's donated to the Linktree or donated to the Cash App. It's right up there. Especially Justin Romani. Joseph McCashlin. That's a dope name. I hope that's a real name. Joseph McCashlin. I love that. Michael Sanchez, Kamani Dixon, Scarlet Dawn Music. Big shout out to you too, Kamani. Kamani was like, yo, man, don't be taking no more hiatuses. I'm not, man. I'm not. I'm in the zone. I'm inspired. I'm energized. I'm having a good time dropping videos this week. This is probably the most consistently I've ever dropped. I've always been kind of a weekly person at best. And I looked up and I put out like, almost 20 videos or so since this beef started. So yeah, these are all my favorite artists. I love talking about it, and I love talking about it with you guys. I've never taken sponsorship dollars. I've never reached out to advertisers for this show. So you guys really keep this going. It's super appreciated. It's all happening. Oh, I got to shout out Nanlib Invasion. Big shout out to Nanlib Invasion. She hooked me up with this dope shirt. Check that out right there. I know y'all seen the meme. I know you've seen the meme. I love it. Big shout out to you, Nanlib. I appreciate it. It's all happening. All right, so check this out. David Faustino tells a really cool story about the iconic Eazy-E. Back in the early 1990s, Ice Cube famously split from NWA and went solo in bombastic fashion. He was officially and publicly beefing with Eazy-E, Dr. Dre, DJ Yella, MC Ren et al., and delivered one of the most storied diss tracks of all time, No Vaseline. Seriously, the closing verse ends with Eric Wright, Punk always into something, getting fucked at night, by Mr. Shitpacker. Bend over for the goddamn cracker. No Vaseline. Yeezus. If you haven't heard it, take a listen, because again, Yeezus. That song literally scared me when I was a kid. All facts, no lies. Now, David Faustino. David Faustino is an actor. He played Bud Bundy on Married with Children. He was also an artist and a huge fan of hip-hop and contributor to LA hip-hop culture. He used to run an event at Ballistics, a hip-hop night at Ballistics, and during a conversation with HipHopDX, he recalled the time Eazy-E came into Ballistics right after No Vaseline dropped. Here's what David said. I remember Eazy, he would come through all the time. And then toward the end of NWA, when all the shit was going down with Ice Cube, I remember he was there one night. He had just rolled through by himself, Speed was spinning, and Eazy rolled through by himself to see Speed just to hang out. I don't think Speed was DJing at that moment. Someone else was on the tables and they spun Ice Cube's No Vaseline, and what could Eric do but just kind of go with it? He got into the spirit of it. He was on the balcony and people could see him, and he just kind of like got into the song, and he was singing along and bopping his head and moving his arms and shit to the crowd. What could he do? Run away? He was a good cat. I love that last part. I think it's so telling. I'm gonna read it one more time. What could Eric do but just kind of go with it? He got into the spirit of it. No Vaseline continues to live on as one of rap's most disrespectful diss tracks ever. Billboard actually ran a list this week of the 15 most scathing diss tracks of all time. They ranked No Vaseline at number 4 on their list. Meet the Grams, that was number 5. Family Matters was number 7. But No Vaseline's impact has lived on for 33 years since its release. So you can get a sense of the magnitude of the energy in Ballistics that night when the DJ played that record. Eric was a good cat. He got into the spirit of it. Now that right there is what I like most about Drake's first release verse since Kendrick Lamar's Shakespearean Shakedown. He's featured on Sexyy Red's You My Everything, which is on her new mixtape, In Sexyy We Trust. Take Heath is on the production, but halfway through Drake's verse, the beat switches to Metro Boomin's BBL Drizzy. That's right, Drake's first verse back from the melee is him leaning into the public shellacking he just received. Like Eazy-E, he's taking a laugh with me approach to humiliation. That's what I like about this tactic. In fact, that's the only thing I like about this tactic, because when you drill into the verse, the same cultural questionable moments are glaring like a cop's flashlight through the driver's side window, essentially reinforcing everything Kendrick pointed out on Euphoria, Meet the Grams, and Not Like Us. Check this out. Kendrick hilariously said, "When I see you standing by Sexyy Red, I believe you see two bad bitches on Euphoria." And now Drake's first song back is with Sexyy Red, so there's that. Topically speaking, Drake's verse is essentially him bragging about buying women plastic surgery. Seriously, that's what it's about. Here's an example. "Me and the surgeon got history. I changed a lot of girls' lives for real. They need a new body, they hitting me. BBL Drizzy, they want a new body, they ask me for it. The last one, Jung, he did it for free because I sent over so many past ones for him. But Red, don't even have to worry about all that shit. Just keep it natural for him, I swear." Okay, two bad bitches talking about plastic surgery. The Rap Avengers essentially and effectively, in my opinion, called Drake's culture card into question. Rick Ross called him BBL Drizzy hilariously, but also called him white boy because he sent a cease and desist to French Montana, effectively calling the police on French Montana. Kanye pointed out his allegiance and alliance with Lucien Grange and fixing the numbers. Kendrick said that it sounds cringeworthy when Drake says the N-word, then also called him a colonizer for stealing from Atlanta artists. And meanwhile, Drake told the world that he told his mom that Rick Ross is racist. On Family Matters, he said that Kendrick's always rapping like he's trying to get the slaves freed. On Slime You Out, he said, "Whip and chain you like American slaves." You'd think after none of those went over culturally in a positive way, he might refrain from making references that even allude to anything in that direction. You'd think that might be something he would stay away from, especially on a track with a foundational black woman, especially in that situation, right? Right? Wrong. Drizzy actually tripled down in his verse, rapping, "Yeah, you think I'm a bachelor girl, but I swear, you ain't got your masters, but I stay breaking your back in the master bedroom, I swear." Now, whether subliminal Drizzy not correlating that masters to slave master was an oversight or otherwise is irrelevant, because perception is reality, and the perception to a substantial population is that Drake is a culture vulture who, as Kendrick depicts on Meet the Grams, Billboard's 5th most scathing diss track of all time, remember, that Drake hates black women, hypersexualizes them with kinks of a nympho fetish. I can't call it either way personally, because Drizzy again says stuff like "whip and chain you like American slaves." So yeah, slave master feels like something Drake might mean. There's a few other interesting moments in the verse. He alludes to the shooting at his house, for example. He alludes to his 20v1 with the Rap Avengers, for example. Kicking, "Maybe we go to St. Lucia. I've been there, so I'll introduce you." Or, "Maybe you go to St. Martin with me if these niggas take a break and quit starting with me." It's all happening, I guess, but the real story of this track, is the fact that Drake is rapping on the beat made by the guy he's beefing with. That's the story here. And even that feels like it lacks imagination, because the internet told him to do that 3 weeks ago. This went viral. Here's Andrew Schultz sharing what he feels like Drake should do.
Okay, so what does Drake do right now? The one idea was Drake should drop a song on BBL Drizzy.
Yeah, he just needs a hit, and BBL Drizzy
is a hit. And then I saw FA post this, and FA was like, he should just flip BBL to Bad Bitches Love Drake.
Yeah.
BBL, Bad Bitches Love Drizzy. Yeah. And use the beat, so you leaning into the jokes that people are making.
So not only was the BBL Drizzy idea out there already, but calling his last diss track The Heart Part 6 went viral on Twitter before the track dropped as well. Look at these tweets. The point is this: like Eazy-E in Ballistics that night when No Vaseline dropped, I like that Drake is rapping on Metro Boomin's diss beat, because I like that he's leaning into it. I like that he's going along with it, showing some humor, a sense of humor. I like how he's staying in people's faces. I like how he's not letting another loss keep him from coming outside. But artistically, Drake hasn't been interesting since the first half of Scorpion, and that album came out in 2018. That's my opinion. I feel that way solely because of the lack of growth and earnestness, and Honestly, effort it feels like he puts into his bars in recent years. Years where it feels like he goes viral more so for his polarizing declarations than his sonic innovation. It feels like Drake is running out of ideas, run low on creativity, run out of things to say, so crowdsourced content is the most efficient way to keep the audience engaged. Kendrick Lamar's Shakespearean Shakedown revealed the striking lack of imagination in Drake's lyrical utility belt. His verse on Sexyy Red's You My Everything is just the latest example. It's all happening.
Justin Hunte is here, it's all happening. Justin Hunte is here, it's all happening.